Welcome to Cascadia Hockey. Was that a little too loud?
No,
That's fine.
I was just like, oh, I didn't see you here.
I'm going to go ahead and wake Kyle up. Welcome to Cascadia Hockey, brought to you by Buried Puck Threads, a presentation of AU Radio Network. We are here to talk about hockey. With me, as always, CEO, founder, misanthrope, general.
The general.
Aaron Piper.
If you don't know what the word misanthrope means, you should look it up, and then you probably will never want to hear me talk again.
Back to us from his secret mission for the Empire, one Mr. Kyle Holtz.
Hold on, I'm looking up misanthrope.
And he just walked out of the room.
You know, without your hat on,
Yes.
your hair down, the beard where it's at.
Yeah.
Do you have a Halloween costume picked out yet?
I'm wearing it right now.
You should be Rooster Colburn.
I'm down.
I'm
down.
From True Grit.
Okay.
Like that's.
Oh yeah.
You've got just an eye patch, and you've got the whole Jeff Bridges thing happening.
I have to wear like a leather cowboy hat though, right? Didn't he have one of those
Yeah.
in that movie?
Do you not have one?
I don't.
I can
I
fix that.
thought everybody had one.
No. I got rid of mine when I left Virginia because I thought that was the only place where rednecks were, but I found out they're everywhere.
You were so
You
wrong.
moved to Eastern Washington
I
and
know.
didn't think you'd find rednecks.
I didn't.
Oh,
I was just looking for you two, and I found you.
here we were. We were just waiting,
I was all by myself.
and then we were at the bus station.
And then Corey and Kyle were like,
slow motion running hug.
hey, you look like you like hockey. You want to talk about hockey? Yes. Let's talk about hockey.
Let's talk about hockey.
Let's talk motherfucking hockey.
Here we are.
I like hockey.
So I want to jump back into this. We were talking just before, and I did about we're playing Kelowna. Well, the Tri-City Americans are playing Kelowna.
Yes, on Friday.
On Friday, and their record is, as it stands,
It's like 1-8 or something like that. 1-7,
I
1-8.
think when you look at the site, it just says atrocious. next to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
and I'm still maintaining. I'm putting forth that it's cryptozoology related.
Ogopogo?
Ogopogo.
If you don't know what Ogopogo is, Google it.
Also look it up. He's the Canadian Loch Ness monster.
Lives in Lake Kelowna, was just spotted recently again.
We caught on video twice now in really, decent video quality. Not to, believe what you want to believe.
Sure.
But there's something out there. Something I want to believe.
Yeah.
That's kind of my motto.
Well, and for me, if anything, it finally got me to understand what the hell is on the front of the Kelowna Rockets jersey.
You know what was funny is I didn't even put that together until I saw Westie's tweet about it.
Yeah, really? I didn't either.
And then I was like, oh,
Yeah. Oh, Ogopogo. Yeah.
that
I
makes
was
so much more sense to
'cause
me now.
The wife and I are always like, what the hell does a dragon have to do with rockets?
Yep.
And then now it makes sense. So thank you for answering that. I think that's the only reason Ogopogo made a appearance, because he's like, okay, people need to figure this shit out.
Yeah, well,
It's only people in Kelowna that know. Now everybody needs to know. Here I am.
or
I'm
was
gone.
it like, hey, you're rocking my visage.
Yeah, where's my cut?
Get your shit together and start playing better.
Yeah. Well, and one of the reasons I'm ragging on Kelowna is because like they're always good, and like Kelowna's one of those teams where you're like, yeah, maybe. And then it started in the playoffs last year when the Ams swept them out.
Yep.
And it's not that Kelowna wasn't a good team at that point. The Ams were just better at that point. And so you figure, okay, Kelowna's going to get their shit together in the offseason.
Nope.
They've won one game.
Yep.
And they're like 9 or 10 in, man. It's like now you're looking forward to Friday. You're like, oh, here comes Kelowna.
So
Chalk it up.
I didn't get a chance to make it out last night. I had some other stuff going on. How was last night?
I wasn't there. I was sick last night.
Oh, really?
So Mr. Houts was.
Hi.
Are you live right now?
No, I'm looking at Ogopogo videos.
How was it last night? How'd they look?
Great. It was.
And we're still
good...
missing. Like Sasha didn't play last night, did he?
No, I think he's out with a family emergency.
Right. And Isaac was back because he went to his sister's wedding over the weekend.
From
Isaac
what I
Johnson.
understand, yeah.
But we'll talk about that other one in a second.
Isaac came out swinging.
Cool. Yeah.
He's been consistent.
Yes, he has. He was
And
missed
he's
over the
been-
weekend.
Yeah, he's been a lot of fun to watch.
He's a great kid, great player, and I think he's
Yeah.
playing a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because of being overlooked again.
Yeah,
Because I think he does have the talent.
yeah,
There's
I
some
think
growing
so too.
that needs to happen. Like he's not NHL ready right now, but
Yeah,
teams should be
I
looking
agree.
at him.
Yeah,
They should.
There were a lot of scouts at the game last night.
Was there?
A lot.
Well,
But they were here for Mutala and one of
Edmonton's
Edmonton's
player.
players that
Mutala
was
wasn't
out
even
also. Like,
why don't you check that shit before you make the trip? Why don't you just call someone? Hey, is Mutala playing tonight? You know those scouts have somebody on the inside that will give them that information.
Yeah, there was a lot of folks there last night.
But my interest was in Scheinman.
Oh, the new kid from Calgary.
Schmeeman? Is that how you say it? Okay.
I think that's the closest.
Dominic.
I'm just calling him Dom.
6'4", 200.
Yeah.
We got him from...
he had 2 points last night.
He had 6 points all last season. He had 2 last night.
All right.
I think he's finding a good place here. So
good. That's what I was hoping to hear.
Yeah. It looks like he'll be good.
Here's what I want to bring up, and I have no inside information. Kyle, I don't think you do. Corey, I don't think you do. But the team quietly sent Matt Dorsey back to the Wenatchee Wild.
I did see that.
Yeah, he played Saturday in the Medicine Hat game. He was in that game because I made some comments about him while I was watching. Like, man, I love this kid. He's fast. He's gritty. Mm-hmm. We'll talk gritty in a minute. But
we need a gritty sound.
Oh, we can make that happen.
Anytime
we'll
you
make
bring
that
him
happen. Okay, we'll talk about. I have some ideas afterwards.
Wenatchee. Let's talk that.
Yeah, and I don't understand. And the reason I found out is because somebody had made a comment on the AM's Facebook. I was kind of following it from home last night as I was not feeling too well. But somebody said, "Is Dorsey not on the roster anymore?" And I'm like, "He's on the roster. He's listed on the starting lineup."
Yeah.
And then I look, like I go on the AM's hockey and I scroll down and he's not there. So then I go to the WHL, the weekly report they do about injuries and all that stuff, and he's listed as returned to Wenatchee, BCHL.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand.
I have no knowledge on that.
And I don't either. And nobody will say anything. We know how that works. But I don't quite understand what the thought process was there.
I got nothing.
One of my thoughts was, is there a big trade coming that they're making room? Just throwing that out there. But I don't think you'd have to. But anyway,
got to be careful speculating.
Yeah, don't speculate too hard. Somebody might call you out from somewhere about it.
Not directly.
Yeah, not directly.
Passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive tones are used quite a bit in our area. No, but anyway, I just thought that was interesting. You know, once again, we're on the outside looking in, and there's greater hockey minds that will prevail. But anyway, I love Matt Dorsey. Hopefully, he gets a chance to come back at some point this year. Maybe it's just whatever. I don't know. But anyway,
I really enjoyed last night's game, though. It was
seemed like it was fun. It would have been a fun one.
AMS came out really hard.
Yeah,
3-0 in the first period, and then Edmonton came back and tied it up.
Yeah, quickly.
And it was just back. Yeah, and it was just back and forth from there. And
Beck Worm had the save of the night.
Yeah, Beck had a beautiful save.
The Western Hockey League put that on their Instagram.
Yeah. I'm still trying to like make it a thing where. So I think it was last season. Carter Hart was here, and he was warming up they were stretching next to each other. Mm-hmm. And I took a picture of it, and I tagged Beck in it. Yeah. I was like, what a heartwarming experience. And he got a kick out of it. And I try to keep it going, but, you know, I think last night I said something like, "This save warms my heart," or something like that. I can't remember, but you know,
the cockles,
giving some personality to the individuals on the ice. I like it.
Oh,
did you like that segue?
Somebody yelled out Isaac Johnson's Twitch handle after the game last night.
Did they really?
Yeah, he came out because he got the 3rd star.
Yeah,
that guy needs to, like, you know, save some stars of the game for the rest of the class because he keeps getting them.
Yeah,
I think he's got the most for the team right now.
Him and
Uremko were tied.
Yeah,
and and he had like another point or something. And I think that pushed him over.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about how the stars are picked, but
it just matters at the award ceremony.
But anyway, so the
I could shed some light on that.
He was coming out to like sign the stick and take the picture with the kid that was out there, and somebody was like, "Yeah, Soft Johns." I was like, "Oh my god, that is his Twitch handle."
That's
awesome.
So people are paying attention.
I think so. Like I went into his stream the other day. I was watching his stream. He was streaming Fortnite, of course, just like every other WHL kid. And like Coiner was in the chat room watching, and so was Beck Worm.
That's awesome.
So I was like, man, all these kids are on Twitch. It's great.
I love it.
I love it.
Did you guys see that? I don't know if we talked about this or not, but the Vancouver Canucks banned Fortnite and video games on road
On
trips.
the road, yeah.
Yep.
And
They're not the only team. I think the Islanders did that too.
It wouldn't surprise me. But then there was one player that came out and said, well, I guess they have to have something to blame it on. Like their lack of skill. Who was that? I saw it on Instagram a couple weeks ago, but somebody's like, oh, well, I guess that's what they can blame last season on was the video games.
God.
And it wasn't one of their players. It was another player from another team. I don't remember. But
Yeah, Vancouver, back to Chorns.
speaking of... yeah, right. Oh, and that's Barley.
Love it.
Oh, did
That's
you
been
see
making
that
the
one
rounds
yesterday?
like crazy,
oh my god,
dude.
that one
For
made
like the
me
last
so
week,
happy.
it's popping up all over the place.
Moving those bales.
I think it's pretty obvious. I'm moving the hay bale from there to there. Of course, that one's straw. That one's barley.
barley.
Barley. Talking individuals on the ice, though, we were having this conversation beforehand. Players lately, Austin Matthews is the one that comes to mind. Been doing a lot of fashion stuff lately. A lot of fashion stuff. If you go like to TSN, I think Bar Down has had some stuff on their Instagram posting pictures about him. But let me see if I can find the post here about it. In essence, what he's bringing up the point that the NHL doesn't like, or maybe doesn't like is not the right term, but does not market individual players. They market the teams. They market the markets. They market the markets. For whatever reason, whether right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So Matthews has taken it upon himself. If my stupid phone would ever load here, I will show you what I'm... Oh, there's Gritty. Oh, I love you, Gritty.
See your background?
Not yet. But here's like, if it loads, there's one of the pictures. Of some of the stuff that Matthews has been
I've seen it
doing
kind of
lately.
floating around a little bit.
And so he's been in like different magazines and stuff like that, wearing different fashion stuff, which I think is great because when I would see him for like his rookie year, he just always looked like an emo kid to me. Hair hanging down in his face, hat pulled down, didn't want the attention. But what do you guys think? Kyle, I know you said beforehand like that's kind of part of the tradition of the game. It's about the team, and I totally agree with you on that.
Something I like about it that I didn't mention earlier was that like, guys like him who are in the spotlight, who are kind of doing this kind of like self-promotion kind of marketing thing, they're also producing a really, really like classy, gentlemanly image, and I think that's great.
Good point.
I think that's great because like I look, say what you will, but Henrik Lundqvist is a beautiful human being.
Oh yeah,
that guy knows how to dress. He knows how to like,
more of his stuff. This is what I had actually caught my eye.
Okay.
The other day.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a good example of like what these professionals should like present themselves,
Put forth.
And I like it. I think it's great. As much as I hated Sean Avery on the ice, like he was the same way too. He really liked dressing nicely and having a nice clean look. And
PK is another one.
PK, oh my goodness,
Yep.
that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's wardrobe is nuts. I love it.
I love that guy.
I love it. Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
So here's what I think. I know everybody's chomping at the bit for that.
Well, no, I just want to. When you're done, I want to read that quote because that's what sparked it in my head. So
Go ahead and read the quote.
Okay, because you had a comment about it as well.
I'll jump on. Yeah.
So this is what Austin Matthews said. He said a big Russell Westbrook. Oh God damn it! If I could actually read, I'm getting a big Russell Westbrook fan. He thinks the NHL could benefit from engaging in its own hockey wars. Hockey is different, he says, being Matthews. Basketball, football, and baseball, they like to market players individually. That's something hockey hasn't quite gotten into yet. That was his quote based on NHL players expressing themselves through fashion. So kind of taking it upon themselves to market themselves individually.
Which is the millennial culture. Okay, and
Could this be a bad thing?
I don't say that with a negative context.
No, I got you.
But the generation, like we're in the middle generation, in between X and Y.
Right.
We're in that what do they call it? They came up with the term Xennials.
Yeah.
Is what they call us.
Yeah.
Those born between 74 and 84. Like that
Kyle's
window.
not in that window. Is
me
he?
and you.
Just barely. Just barely.
Are you 84?
85.
85. Okay.
Okay. So what I want to get at is no. The the NHL doesn't market individuals, but we're in a culture where everyone markets themselves anymore.
Oh yeah.
Or they put forth a product of some
You
form.
have the outlets available.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
But
Yeah.
what we're coming back to is, while there doesn't seem to be one presenting himself on the ice as such, never was hockey as big as it was during Gretzky's era. Okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
The great one, as he's known, was brought in and brought attention to the game like never before. Like never before. Especially
when
in
he
the
moved to-
States.
well, yeah, when he moved to LA.
Yeah. But I mean, even he's just. But what I'm saying is, when you have someone who is above and beyond in skill level, it draws attention to it. I'm, not basketball fans, but you all have seen Jordan play, right?
Oh, I was a fan in the middle 90s.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is when you have somebody to rally behind, it draws more people to the sport.
Yeah.
And that could be an unpopular opinion, but it's I think, PK is one of those guys I look at that I'm like, yeah, that guy is fucking badass.
Oh, I love
dig
PK's
that
style.
dude.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
flashy but classy at the same time. Like, he's
Exactly.
not like over the top.
He's got it all going on.
It's his own look and his own touch on it.
And holy shit, is it paying off, dude? The Predators.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
Those guys are phenomenal so far.
Well, and see that's the point that, kind of caught my eye about it. One of the things we all love, and we've talked about this, and when I say we, I mean us three in this room right now, we love the team aspect of the sport. Hockey is one that it is team first. It's always been team first. Go and watch Miracle.
Yeah.
If you really want to
Yeah.
get like what it's all about. You take a bunch of players that might not be the highest skill level, but you make them believe in the team, they're going to play their hearts out for you. So is this, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, is this something that could be bad for the game of hockey? Could you get those selfish players?
I think it's
I have an opinion. I'll share it when you guys are done. I have an opinion.
I can see your view on it. Like I can see how.
That's not my view. I'm just playing devil's advocate there.
Yeah,
I think it could be a double-edged sword.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good for the sport, but perhaps bad for a team. Anytime somebody's, we'll refer to them as Gwen Stefani'd.
Okay.
Okay, you've got a band, no doubt, right? Of dudes. Can you name any member of that band that's not Gwen Stefani?
Nope.
Okay,
I
cool.
can see the face of the dude that she's in the Don't Speak video with, but that's it.
The random little bass player guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no clue who that guy is.
Nope.
What have they done in the past decade?
Nothing.
Precisely. Once she left, it was. So the problem is you take this team and you stick somebody out front, you run the risk of everybody else falling behind and being disheartened by that.
Well, look at LeBron James.
Let's not.
Yeah,
I'd
You're
rather
right,
not.
you're right.
I'd
that
rather
kinda
not.
drives me crazy.
But I mean,
man.
that's what I was getting at earlier. Was I can't remember. It was about the same time. There was a big game for both basketball and hockey, and LeBron James was talking about. They were both doing like LeBron James was doing a post game interview, and I think it was T.J. Oshie.
yes.
And
I know what you're talking about.
It was in the
Yeah.
finals last year.
yeah, and Oshie had said the word "we" and "team" like 30 some odd times, and then LeBron James had said "I."
Yep.
Like 45 or 50 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the difference in the way teamwork works in
Right.
both sports
Well-
and just the culture that's been like cultivated in basketball. Like it's more of like, yeah, it's a team sport, but individual effort goes a long way.
Yeah.
And do you know another Lakers player? Do you know another like Cavs player? Because I'm not a big basketball fan, but all I hear is this
No.
idiot.
No.
No, I
And
have
you
no
know,
idea.
here's the thing: is
Uh-oh.
LeBron is the vacuum that's created because you have someone with mass talent. You have a Jordan,
And it's undeniable. He's extremely talented.
right? But you have
Yeah.
a Jordan type
Esque.
character who is classy, who is a team player, but still Jordan.
No, I'm not talking about Jordan.
I'm talking about Jordan.
Okay, you're talking about Jordan directly.
but
Okay.
I'll
I thought you were calling LeBron those
No,
things.
I'll get to LeBron.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is you get this vacuum created when that goes away. Okay? And the public frantically looks for a replacement because they don't want to lose that feeling. So who do we get? We get that they fill it in with Kobe. Well, then Kobe raped somebody, or allegedly. I don't remember.
No, I think just so we don't get sued from anybody, the story was he was accused of rape, but it came out that it was consensual sex.
Oh, okay.
He
but
cheated
paid,
on his wife,
and,
and then he made a
off.
public
Yeah.
apology about it.
Okay.
To his wife.
So but I mean, we try and fill that vacuum with, for lack of a better term that I can come up with, false idols. Replacement
People that
guys.
you want to be that person, but are
Right.
never truly going to be that person.
And then you have somebody like LeBron who comes up and all he wants is to be that guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the rest of it. He wants to be that guy. And he's said it over and over and over and over. Right? Now, off the court, the guy's done a lot of good stuff. His school thing, like I don't disrespect the man, but I don't agree with the way he looks at things. And that's what I'm afraid will happen, is we'll get these people who feel entitled to becoming something they haven't earned.
Yeah.
Which gives us, gives us the LeBrons, gives us the Hillarys in politics, the people who just feel like they are owed something.
Yeah.
And that's what hockey has yet to have happen. And hopefully we avoid it.
So
Sorry, that was a little soapboxy.
No, that's good. That's good. So my opinion, I played the devil's advocate, asked if that could be a bad thing. My opinion is it's not going to be, because I think that the love of team is so deeply enrooted in a hockey player from early on. And I think that's proven in the fact that players, and this isn't the first time that like a PK or an Austin Matthews and all this take it upon themselves. Hell, TJ Oshie has his own brand now, the War Road Clothing or whatever brand that he's doing. These players take it upon themselves to market themselves individually, only to use the platform that they have to do some good. Yeah, PK, nobody talks about, well, people in the media like Mike Milbury, who's a fucking dork, talk about how much they...
That came out a lot nicer than I expected.
Oh, there was going to be...
There's a huge swing, and then...
I held myself back there.
Dork. I love that.
I was going to use the term donkey because that's what JR likes to call him at the beginning of his podcast. But no, it's the media gives PK shit. Why does he come out and why does he dance during warm-ups? And why does he got to be so flashy? Just play the fucking game. Shut the fuck up, Milbury.
Yeah, get over it.
All of his teammates say he's the best teammate. The people at the Montreal Children's Hospital will say nothing but good things about him.
Oh, God.
Austin Matthews, if you've noticed, that kid scores... Okay, did you guys see the Austin Matthews, Patrick Kane thing the other night?
That was so funny.
That's good for the game right there.
I love it.
Yes.
And at the end, both those guys were laughing about it.
Oh, yeah, did you... When Kane did it, they cut to Matthews on the bench. He's just like grimacing, like shaking his head with a little grin. Like, I get it.
Like, even Kane was like, it pissed me off, but, it's kind of funny.
It's friendly competition, and it's
yeah.
personality to these people. But all these guys that have been flashy, JR was another one. When Jeremy Roenick played, he very boisterous and loud and an individual.
Yep.
And the league seemed to really not like it, but people said nothing but good things about JR as a teammate.
Yeah.
Again, you need to drive something for the fans.
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
I mean, the fans love the game, but it's, and I'm not saying placate and put on a bunch of flashy crap.
No.
What I'm saying is let people express themselves, and that will naturally draw people to you.
Let fans have favorite players. And the way that they're going to have favorite players is A, are they good on the ice? And B, are they visible off the ice? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be able to see them on Instagram and all that stuff? As much as our generation and people older than us are starting to really hate social media, it ain't going anywhere, and these players that are taking advantage of it and running with it and showing their personality, they're drawing more fans in. They're drawing more people into the game because then people can connect with that individual.
Yeah, yeah.
And you sell more tickets that way. You sell more merchandise that way. Period. It's good for the game.
I agree.
So bottom line for me, in my opinion, it's good for the game.
You know what else is good for the game? the Broad Street Gritty.
Oh dear God!
I didn't know where you were going, but I was gonna like jokingly say gritty.
No,
We're on the same page. It's good.
Oh my God!
so what's funny is
Probably the only good thing about the Flyers home opener last night was gritty.
all of our dismay when we initially saw him, and now how much we all love him.
That seems to be like 99% of the population right now.
You know what, dude? They've struck on gold by just letting it be as weird as it can be, and I'm over the moon with the whole thing.
Did you see Conan's clip?
No.
So Conan, go and YouTube it or Google it or whatever. Conan did a thing with Gritty. He said, everybody's talking about Gritty. Let's meet the man that's inside of Gritty. Who is the one that's inside of Gritty? And so he has him on. He comes out. Obviously, it's a fake Gritty, the mask and everything. But he comes out. He takes his mask off. He looks exactly the same. The guy looks exactly the same as the Gritty man. He's got the beard. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's the beard. I didn't shave this morning. And his eyes are all googly. He's got this whole prosthetic makeup on. He's like, no, it's not really the beard that we're scared of there. You guys got to check it out. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
he's
fantastic.
everywhere.
Speaking of mascots, I didn't realize. Did you ever watch that Hulu show?
I know where you're
Behind
going.
the Mask? Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realize the guy that played Tux is in Edmonton.
Edmonton.
Now.
Yep.
Yeah, he is Hunter.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
The Bobcat or whatever it is they use up there.
That
Yeah.
terrifying Bobcat. Like
Yeah.
that was legit terrifying when it came out. I was like, oh, okay, but it didn't grow on me like Gritty did.
No. That
But-
show had 2 seasons, right?
Yeah, but I'm super happy for him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like did you ever watch it? You look confused.
Yeah.
Behind the Mask, Hulu.
I haven't
It
seen
follows 3 mascots. It's 2 seasons. Follows 3
I think it's like
mascots.
4.
Is it 4 mascots?
Yeah, and then the other season was like 6.
Well, but they follow somebody at the high school level, college level, pro level.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, the first year was the guy that plays Tux for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins.
Okay.
The other one was some tree from some high school. I forget what it's somewhere in Pennsylvania. And then the other one was the guy that was the Milwaukee Bucks mascot.
Yep.
Okay.
And hey Rev. Or Hey Reb was
UNLV mascot.
Oh, okay.
Hey Reb or Hey Rev, I forget.
Hey,
Reb.
the Red
It's
Rebels,
Reb.
right?
Yeah.
Hey Reb, yeah. But anyway, so it follows them along like 8 episodes or something. But anyway, the Tux guy was constantly trying, because his kid lived in Canada, so he was constantly trying to get on a professional gig. Because this guy, like, put his heart and soul into it. Like, he took the whole thing and turned it into something even more than just a mascot.
That's awesome.
And so for both seasons, they followed him in both seasons, and he would always like the Tampa Bay Lightning, I think, called him for an interview and he didn't get it. Some baseball team called him for an interview, he didn't get it.
Yeah.
So, and he never gets it by the end of the season.
And
So
he's-
after the season was over, my wife's like, I got to look. And she looked it up, and sure enough, he had gotten the gig up in Edmonton.
Awesome.
I think his kid lives in Calgary or something.
Yeah, because he's like a big time like
Huge hockey fan.
big hockey fan, but like his kid is like probably the most important thing to him
God.
in the world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he gets like really emotional like when talking about his kid and stuff, and like how like the divorce has like really affected him, and
Kid would come
he
to
always
visit
wants
and-
to the kid comes to visit and they're like inseparable. Like
Yeah.
That's awesome.
and he's always talking about how he wants to make the NHL for his kid and have his kid be proud of him and stuff, and it's
And he did.
yeah, it's
He's
really
been up
cool.
there for a few seasons
So
now.
I mean, sorry we kind of spoiled it for you, but you
No,
should
I'll
still,
check it out.
You should
Well,
still
you
check
should
it
still
out.
watch it. No, that's
Yeah.
just part of the story.
It's a really cool like view on like just mascots in professional sports,
Yeah.
and
So
I really enjoyed it.
With that, have you guys ever watched Mascots?
Mm-mm.
So, Mascots is a Christopher Columbus,
Okay.
or not Christopher Columbus, Christopher Guest movie. The guy he was one of the guys in Spinal Tap,
Okay.
and he is a Sasquatch just went by. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you get a picture?
I have my old Polaroid
So-
somewhere.
You were really fuzzy. So anyway, Christopher Guest made A Mighty Wind,
Okay.
Best in Show,
Okay.
Waiting for Guffman. There, a bunch of those mockumentary comedies, and he did one for Netflix called Mascots,
Okay.
and it's essentially that show, but a fake comedy, and
to
it
watch
follows Chris O'Dowd. From the IT crowd, and he's been in a ton of other things.
I know the name.
But he was a hockey mascot that was a giant fist.
Wow, that could go a lot of different directions.
It absolutely goes every single one of those directions. The guy that plays Jared on Silicon Valley is one of the mascots on it, and his wife, I believe, is Jane Levy.
Okay,
if I remember, it's been a while since I've seen it, but it's well worthwhile. It's just a comedy spin exactly on what you guys are talking about, and it's
awesome.
fucking ridiculous.
We got away from Gritty. Sorry, Gritty. Don't hate us.
Hey, no, Gritty got us down this path,
He
man.
did.
Yeah.
Gritty's shedding light on mascots.
Yeah,
it's
mascot
weird.
matters.
It's weird, but it almost upsets me that he's a Flyers mascot. I'm sorry, but
Hey,
I'm just like,
at least
man,
I have something positive to talk about with the Flyers.
He could
right
be
now.
like an NHL wide mascot. You know,
Yeah.
he could just show up at any
Yeah.
game. I wouldn't care if I'm
No,
in Vancouver
you know what,
watching the
that's-
Kings in town and Gritty could be there, and I would be all in. I'd
He's
be
like-
yeah, this is cool.
He's like Cameron Hughes, the professional
I know,
crowd
yeah.
guy. Doesn't matter where he goes, everybody loves him.
He should just be.
he's
He
great.
should just replace one of the dudes that travels around with the cup.
Phil Pritchard and
new cup
Gritty. Phil and Gritty. Oh, we could totally do
That would be a show and a half.
like
Phil and
the
Gritty.
Odd Couple. The Odd Couple of taking them around.
So
I love it.
It's funny because like every year there's some kind of like fun story going along with the NHL. And last year it was kind of the on the bench guys.
Yeah.
And this year I feel like it's Gritty. Like
Oh, yeah.
Gritty is
Oh, yeah.
stealing the show this year.
The only problem though is that he is tied to a team. Like the on the bench guys were.
And they didn't mean
anybody.
that against the Flyers.
No,
in
no,
any
no, I
way.
got
Like,
you.
I feel like he could. No, well, a little bit because I've never really been a Flyers fan, and like, but man, it's just it adds so much character,
Yeah.
like to the world of mascots. Like
Yeah.
he has set the bar high.
I cannot wait until the All-Star game. The mascot.
Oh my!
Oh man,
Banter and
Yes.
competition on the ice.
Yes.
Oh my
My
good!
God.
I got to get down there, man. I got the hotel. I just got to get down there. So
do.
I got to be there. Gritty's great. We were talking earlier about him at the aquarium yesterday. Of course, I guess it's the Philadelphia Guppies now because he had a sign that said, "Hey, Sharks, losers tonight change their name to Guppies," and the Flyers got the shit kicked out of them last night.
Ooh.
8-2 was the final in that game. So I guess it's the Philadelphia Guppies now. But
They had a good run.
we were talking about how he was yeah, they had a good one game. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights, who aren't doing so
No,
well
I mean
right now
as
either.
the Flyers.
Oh yeah, as the Flyers. Yeah. But you guys saw where he was clearing the stuffed
Yeah.
off the shelf. Did you see the one where he's holding the shark in one hand and the penguin in the other?
Yep.
And he just looks at them both and then just chucks them across the room.
Yep.
That was so funny.
I loved it.
They are
Loved
doing kudos to the Philadelphia. Even if I wasn't a Flyers fan, I would still say kudos because your marketing department is doing amazing
know.
with that right now.
You know, same. You know, Kyle and I's not neither one of us Flyer fans, but holy crap, dude!
He ziplined into the game last night for the home opener.
I saw
Ziplined
him
from the top.
swinging, not so much like zip lining, but he was just kind of kicking around. I was like, man, that's
That's great.
gotta be. It's gotta be nuts.
Speaking of home openers, there was a story that we were talking about earlier that popped up, but I couldn't find any more about it. But the Ottawa Senators dropped these oversized, not light, beach ball-esque sort of objects on the crowd during their opening night. And the headline read, "Beers spilled, children injured." I love the fact that beer spilled was first.
Beer.
You're okay, kids. Suck it up. Kids are resilient, but my goddamn beer, man.
Get down there and pick it up for Daddy.
It was. If you go, Complete Hockey News was where I saw it, and that's all I could
Yeah.
find. Like I googled
I didn't see
Ottawa
anything else
balls.
on it.
Don't Google Ottawa balls, by the way. That'll get you in trouble.
Oh, that's
an
a whole different picture.
NSFW.
It's just a picture of the Senators.
Pretty much.
Balls.
But anyway, yeah. So I guess, and it just made you like faceplant, like that meme that Buried Puck tweeted earlier in the summer with the truck on fire driving through the forest. It was like, okay, the truck's on fire driving through the forest again. Can Ottawa not figure their shit out? I mean, that's just insult to injury. Hey, everybody hates us right now. I have a great idea. Let's drop some big ass balls on the crowd.
CBS Sports,
Do they report?
they have it under this headline.
Oh God.
Look! Ottawa Senators drop ball with pregame stunt that injures kids and spills beer.
Okay. So.
Can you say they dropped the ball on that one?
Oh.
I'll be here all night.
And he's gone. Mic drop.
That
Well, and spilling a beer wouldn't be. We've all spilled beer, and we hate it. We cry a little bit, but when you're paying $14 a beer at an NHL game, that's where the big deal is.
well,
Kid, you got a bruise, you got a slight concussion, you'll be all right. But I just spent $14 on that motherfucking beer that the team just knocked out of my hand.
These things are ridiculous looking. Just looking at if you look at the tweet.
No,
So CBS is just re-reporting the complete hockey news.
Okay.
But it's got the pictures, and nobody in that crowd looks happy.
Well, they're in Ottawa. But anyway,
but how are they doing right now? I mean,
the Flyers play them tonight, so they'll probably get a win there. And I mean, the Senators will probably get a win there. They beat Toronto in Toronto 5-3, which that happened like Saturday or something like that. How are they doing? Let's go look at how Ottawa's doing right now. But Senators, come on, man, get your shit together.
1-1-1 for Ottawa.
Okay, so
Coyotes haven't won a game yet. That's not a shocker.
no, 3 points in 3. I mean, the Flyers right now are 1-2. Ottawa has more points than the Flyers right now.
Buffalo is not only not at the bottom right now, but they've won a couple games.
So I watched their game on Monday. Their game against who'd they play Monday? It was the Indigenous Peoples, Columbus, whatever the fuck you call it nowadays. Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who do they play?
I can't remember.
Wait,
they played the Golden Knights. They played the Knights Monday, and
correct me if I'm wrong.
Buffalo looked really good.
The Canadian Thanksgiving celebrates an explorer finding the Northwest Passage, which he didn't do, right?
I probably
Isn't that correct?
I just know that it's a lot like our Thanksgiving just a month and a half earlier.
Okay,
I don't know.
The actual thing that they're celebrating, the things is a non-event, right?
Could be.
I'm almost positive.
A lot of things we
right.
celebrate are non-events.
I agree with that.
Columbus Day being one of them.
You know what?
Sorry. No, fuck it. No, let's not go down the path. I don't want that. No.
This is going to get dangerous.
Yeah, no.
You did this!
All of a sudden, I know, it's my fault. Lord, I apologize. No, God, I can't even say that without stirring up controversy.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, Lord, I apologize.
You get to say that, and then I counterbalance it by saying, Jesus, fuck ass.
There you go. There you go. Dear Lord, baby Jesus.
I like to think about Jesus in a tuxedo T-shirt,
And I'm in the front row of Skinner, just hammered drunk, and he's just singing lead vocals.
and he's like, I'm your Lord and Savior, but I'm here to party.
I figure back in his heyday, he probably had some pretty nice looking sideburns.
Yeah. Dude, turned water into wine. Okay, first off,
you think maybe he experimented first and did like beer?
Well, he was like, "Oh, that's garbage."
Send this to Russia.
Jesus practicing parlor tricks. I love it. That's a fantastic.
No matter what your opinion is of the Lord and Savior of the universe,
we're just
I don't care what your opinion is. Jesus was one of the coolest people to walk the face of the planet.
Yeah,
so
dude.
We're just gonna leave it.
No, for real. But you know what's funny about that is he also, it's in the Bible. This is one of my favorite biblical things that never gets brought up. Jesus is at a wedding in Cana, right? And they're like, "Hey, we're gonna run out of wine," and Jesus says to them,
I got you.
"Bring out the good wine first.
Yeah.
Let everybody get drunk on the good wine. And then when they want more, bring out the shitty wine. And they won't be able to tell the difference because they're already hammered." Now that is a savior you can get behind.
So
that's a dude who knows what's up.
He knows
that
what's
might
up.
be a tactic that I use. Like, and not like on my friends.
You let his
not on my
teachings
friends.
impact your life.
Not on my friends, all the time. But like, I have this weird tactic. Like the other night, I was watching one of the hockey games. I think it was probably the Red Wings game where Razzie had his first assist.
Oh, so that was just like 2 nights ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Monday.
I was super tired that night, and I didn't finish my beer. And
Can you give it to someone else?
no, I was at home.
Oh, okay.
I was at home.
I was like,
He went
okay.
out on the balcony. Hey, you want a beer?
So the next day I turn on the NHL.tv, and then I noticed that this beer is sitting on the table, and I'm like, I don't want to waste it though. So what I did, I went to the fridge, I got a fresh beer, I drank that as I normally would, and then I slammed the old one. And I was like, Wasn't as bad though. Wasn't as bad.
I'm
Like,
gonna take
that
your
that is a tactic. Like I hate looking and like, oh, I didn't drink all that. I have to drink it. I have to, and I will.
So my tip for that is if you chill, pounder glasses. Like I keep a few pounder glasses in the freezer.
Yeah.
Take that, pour the old one in there, and then top it off with the fresh.
Yeah, and I've done that
That's
too.
the way to go.
I've done that too.
I'm going to take your story. I'm going to top your story.
Ooh.
Because this just happened this past weekend. Wife and I went out to our local wine and spirits store, one of the larger ones in the area, and spent a lot of money on beer and whiskey. Okay, so one of the things I bought was a little 6-pack of Georgetown Pilsner. It's supposed to be a really good Pilsner from up in the Seattle area. Came home. Well, we've got 2 fridges on our house because we've got kids. We've got, the main fridge out in the kitchen. Then I've got a smaller fridge in my office where I keep the beer and all that kind of stuff. Well, that night I put the Georgetown one because the other one was so full of beer I didn't have room for the Georgetown little 6-pack in a like a refrigerator box. So I put it in there. Wife and I go out Sunday morning. We come back. Well, my 18-year-old's home from college this weekend. I'd only drank one of the Georgetowns. Well, I come back. I had put just a can in the fridge, and I came back, and the top was open. Who the fuck opened my beer? Because the oldest person in the house at that point is 18, so nobody there should be drinking beer.
Right.
Who the fuck opened my beer? Ryan jumps up. Oh, Dad, I'm so sorry, man. I thought it was orange juice.
The old classic. I thought it was orange juice.
Okay. So you opened my beer, you took a sip, you figured it wasn't orange juice, and you left it there. Well, yeah, I didn't think you wanted me to drink it. Oh, fuck you. You're drinking it. I'm not in the mood for a beer right now, but we're not going to let that beer go stale.
You're a good dad.
Props to my 18-year-old. He fucking chugged that thing, dude. He's like,
You're
all
a
right.
good dad.
Oh, that's what beer tastes like.
You're-
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he didn't. He didn't
that's
pull
what beer
that. He
tastes
didn't pull
like.
that. He didn't pull that.
That would have been hilarious.
That
But
would've been.
like he chugged it, and you're like, looks like you've done that before.
Yeah, and I said, something you're not telling me about your college experience at this point? No, but I mean it was funny because I mean that's it's not against the law.
No.
Federal law doesn't apply to that when you're in your own home.
Yep.
I found that I can give all my kids alcohol if I want.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't you fucking call CPS on me, anybody.
This is a stray from hockey story, but when I was living in Nevada, right after high school, I moved into a house with a bunch of my friends the same age as me. What could go wrong? We were all like 18, 19. I think the oldest person was like almost 20 by the time we moved in there. Anyway, obviously we got beer from someone else, and I'm not the party type. I don't invite a lot of people over and
Sure.
throw ragers or anything,
Right.
or whatever the kids call it these days.
The
So
parlance of our times.
yeah, and long story short, everyone in the house was drunk. Cops show up because somebody was illegally parked on the street outside.
Okay.
There wasn't enough parking in front of the house, so there was nothing across from the house. It was just desert, and they had parked like horizontally, I guess is the way you'd put
Sure.
it. So they were just knocking on the door to say, "Hey, is this your car out here?" Oh, this is a different story. This is a house full of underage drunk kids. And they were like, "Is there anybody over the age of 21 here?" And we're like, "Actually, no." And we thought we were like all going to jail. We're like,
Oh.
we are fucked. Like my buddy's sister was like crying, and she was like, I think she was like 17 or 18 or something, and she thought she was just done for, and her parents were going to kill her.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Okay, as long as you guys stay in the house,
Yeah.
We can't do
you're
anything.
fine."
Yep.
He's like, "Just stay in here." And then like she was crying, and the cop was like, "Look, what have you been drinking?" And she was like, "Screwdrivers," and like he was like, "Look, you're a mess."
Sex on the beach.
Yeah. He's like, "You're a mess. Like if you're gonna mix drinks, don't do it."
Right.
He's like, "If you're gonna drink vodka, just drink vodka. If you're gonna drink tequila, just drink tequila." Like the cops were like really cool about it and like telling us like drinking tips. And,
If you're going to underage drink,
And they were
underage
like-
drink responsibly.
and they were like, "Look, just make sure none of you leave the house.
Right.
If you need a ride home, we'll give you a ride home. But otherwise, it looks like you guys are good.
Yeah.
Just don't leave the house."
Right.
And they were fine with it, and they left. And we're like, "That is a law I did not know."
The 21 is the whole in public thing.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what's funny
And
is
purchasing, of
I
course.
had that.
Yeah.
I had a very very similar thing happen growing up, and I turned 40 tomorrow, so pretty sure the statute of limitations is okay. So
Is this the 50s?
yeah, it was back in the 50s.
40's a new 20.
So back in the not if my back and knees have anything to say about it. It's not. So anyway,
You make old person
this
noises?
was like 90s. Yeah,
Dad
Oh,
noises.
Yeah, dad noises.
Yeah.
Like 95, I want to say, in high school. I'm at a party at my friend's house, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I am drinking. I have just a bottle of Jack Daniels that I'm slowly taking pulls off of. It's sitting in my lap. Sitting next to me on the couch is one of my best friends who is taking medicinal smokage out of a honey bear, which is totally cliche and amazing. Anyway, there's a ton of stuff happening, and basically no one in the house over 21, everyone in the house has some sort of something they shouldn't have, be it alcohol or marijuana or something. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I'm sitting there and I take a pull off the bottle and I set the bottle down and I look up and there's a cop standing in the living room. The front door was open and he just walked in and is looking at all of us. And I was the first one to notice him. And I hit my buddy who's like, "Oh, look at that."
What would you look at that?
He just kind of like looks at him with the
Yeah,
I fell.
exactly. This isn't mine. I'm holding it for my parents. And the cop goes, "There's probably 20 kids in this living room, all messed up to the nines, right?" And he looks around and he goes, "I need you to turn the music down." And so I reach over and grab the stereo knob and just turn it down a little bit. And he was like, "Don't leave."
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to sit in his car outside the front yard
Ooh.
for the next 4 hours.
That's called soliciting, though.
Well, it was just making sure nobody left.
Yeah.
And that, you know what? He told us not to leave, and then he went and made sure we
Sure.
didn't. And that's it. After 4 hours, around midnight, he bailed.
left. Huh.
And I will never forget, because I woke up the next day with a shotgun in my face, but that's a whole different story. But it was the same thing.
You
Dude
drank my
walked in,
bottle of
and
Jack,
instead of saying anything, it just turned the music down. We got
Yeah.
a complaint.
He's like, I don't have enough handcuffs.
And to be fair, that was weak. We can do better than that. So
It was too quick.
it was.
We're thinking about
We
alcohol right now.
I got totally lucky growing up in the country because we had like county sheriffs
Nobody
as
goes out
opposed
there.
to city police, and so
Yeah.
it was much easier for the lone county sheriff to be like, "I don't want to
Shenanigans.
deal with all this."
I got to go to church with all your parents on Sunday.
Oh, you're
so-
getting there. They're gonna know.
I know your dad.
Oh, man. So here we are, guys. Full swing. Everything's
yeah.
like perfectly in place. I went and saw The Nun this weekend.
Oh, how was it?
Pretty fucking good. It really was. And the way they tied it into The Conjuring, you'll
so
love
excited.
it. You'll
I was
love
so
it.
excited.
And here's a story about my my antisocial behavior. So with that new theater, the one in the Fairchild one in Richland,
Yeah.
like I'll always look at the showtime to see how many people have bought tickets.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm not going to that showtime. There's too many people in that theater. That's just, I hate people. Misanthrope. There you go. I just told you what a misanthrope is. No, but anyway, so we were looking, my wife and I were going to pull the trigger. They only had 2 showings on Sunday, and one was at like 4:40, the other was later. So we'll do the 4:40. Up until like an hour before showtime, there was like no tickets sold. I'm like, babe, we're going to have this whole fucking theater to ourselves.
You're like, yeah.
So we pull in the parking lot. I always do one last check before we go in. I pull up on my phone. I'm like, oh, there's like 4 people, and they're all like a couple rows down. It's like, we're going to get back middle because we never get back middle. I always do back corner so I can
Right.
sit against the wall, and then my
Yeah.
wife's the only one next to me. So I was like, we're doing back middle. Nobody else is going to buy back. It won't be anybody else. So we go into the theater. We sit down. We're like 15 minutes early, munching on some popcorn, watching the shit, and I start pulling it up, and it starts filling up. More people start filling up.
Oh no.
So the last I saw on the thing, there was somebody sitting like 2 seats over from me.
Yeah.
I can handle that. So they show up. All of a sudden, 2 other high school-aged boys walk up, proceed to sit down right next to me.
Oh no.
Right next
Kid's
to
got
you.
his phone out, Snapchatting, talking to his buddy. Now the movie hasn't started yet.
Okay.
We're still pre-previews at this point, so we're okay. He's Snapchatting, talking to his buddy, laughing, all that stuff, and I'm starting to boil. Like I'm gonna kill someone today to be able to watch The Nun in peace. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
I have to say kudos to this kid. As soon as the lights went dark and the previews came up, not the movie, the previews came up, put his phone away and shut up.
Awesome.
And it was a great watching experience. So all of you snot-nosed punk-ass, like 16, 17, 18-year-olds, one of your own just gave me a little bit more hope for your generation.
So I gotta throw out my hope for humanity story from yesterday.
Is it hugs?
It is hugs.
What was that all about? I saw the picture. What was the story?
I have literally no idea.
So they just showed up?
I am in the cafe, standing at the record counter, talking to our record buyer. And
Speaking of records, I got to talk to you after this.
okay, cool.
He cannot expunge that record for you, just so you know.
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool.
I'm a el notarized.
Then I need to talk to you too.
I can notarize you for Argentina. So standing there talking to Matt, and I was buying a birthday present for my wife. Her birthday is Friday, and I bought her a Ghost vinyl.
Oh, nice.
She's a big fan of the band Ghost, like I am, and she wanted one of their records, and so I was getting one on vinyl, and I'm sitting there talking to him about it, and I turn and look, and there's this crowd of girls with T-shirts and big signs that just say "free hugs."
Were they walking, or had they stopped at the door?
They were traveling up the sidewalk in a pack, and I was like, well, fuck, I got to get down on this, right? I'm a huggy guy. If you've met me, you probably we have embraced or will embrace. And if I'm intoxicated, you can't. I'm the
you
huggiest.
won't leave your embrace.
Yeah, I'm a huggy guy. I love you. You know, I love everybody.
Don't shake hands. Brothers,
brothers hug. I got no place else to go. So anyway, I opened the door, and they just all of them. Run up one at a time, hug.
Wow.
And I'm like,
it's like 30 hugs.
Yeah, dude, it was really nice of them.
Your picture was classic, dude, because you're there. You look so respectful. You got the hands crossed, and you're just like, I just had the best day in the last decade.
You know what, though, dude? I was kind of in a sourpuss mood before that happened, and it really put me in a good mood for the rest of the day.
That's awesome.
And so just if you happen to see a roaming band of people offering to hug you, hug them.
I'm assuming they just hung out in the Uptown all day? Or
No,
at least for
some people, I talked to people online who had seen them down at John Day Plaza.
Oh, wow.
Or John Dam, I mean, and they were walking Richland, hugging people. You know, just spreading some love.
Richland can use a hug.
Hell
That's
yes,
That's
dude.
for sure.
They had a hashtag on one of the signs, but I missed it. I wish I could have helped promote whatever they were doing.
If you're cool with it, I'll tell people, go find Nerdcore on NERDKOR. Go find Nerdcore on social media. Look it up, the pictures from yesterday. You'll see what he's talking about. It'll make you smile.
Yeah, it was a really sweet thing. It was really cool, and it put me in a really good mood. And so, you know what? Hug a stranger.
Yeah.
And when they hit you, you know, hug them again.
The other night, though,
Because they need it twice as bad.
I scared the shit out of Kyle the other night. He's at the game, and it was after the game, so he was cutting some stuff together. And I walked up to him, I just kind of poked him in the back, like, "Hey man, you okay?" And he's like, "What the fuck?" Looks at me, I'm like, "Oh, sorry, you don't like me touching you?" He's like, "No, stop it."
It was just startling. Like
I know you were intense. You were in it.
I had my headphones on. I couldn't hear anything. And
like-
when you ninja up on me, I'm like,
Yeah, the military training.
I learned
kicked
a little
in.
something about Kyle that night.
I was about to like wrangle out my
I had a
shoelace and choke
Ruger
somebody.
in my face.
You're like, are you supposed to have that in the building? Hand cannon?
You know, so I used to wear a chain wallet all the time. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And so it was a punk rock thing. I went for like 3 seasons at the Toyota. I'd walk in with it, no problem. And it wasn't like one of those big obnoxious chains that hangs down to your ankle. It was just a little like Harley Davidson sort of thing. 3 years, nobody gave me a hard time. One night I'm walking in, this old lady goes, "I'm going to need you to tuck your chain into your back pocket." And I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and she gave me that, "Don't you say shit" look. And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." Tucked it in and walked in like, what the fuck is that all about? Come to find out that year they started this whole you can't have chains on your wallet sort of thing. I was like, where did that come from?
Oh, I had that same problem. So for years in the punk rock world, I wore a chain wallet. My chain was obnoxious. It wasn't stupid obnoxious, but it ran to my knee.
I've had
lower.
those before, yeah.
And it was typically whatever, $20 or something like that to get that. And I forgot about it so many times because I was so used to wearing it that I would forget to take it off, and then you'd stand in line for 3 hours for a concert, and
But
you
you
get
can't
to
bring
the
that
door,
in.
and they'd be like, "You can't bring that in. You take it back to your car, or you can throw it away." So I ended up chucking probably 10 chains, and the last one was 2007, 8. 2007.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Slipknot
Okay.
at the Toyota Center.
Which is funny. You can't bring a chain to a Slipknot show.
Right. And I was walking up, and they're like, you're gonna have to get rid of that or take it back to your car. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing it no more.
Love it.
And I haven't worn a chain since, and I miss it. I really do.
I used to.
Yeah.
I was back in like my college or like first college attempt in high school days.
Yeah.
I had like a short one. It wasn't like long or anything.
Yeah.
Like went around the pocket, and it was just.
Yeah.
I think it was the punk scene. You
Yeah.
know, like I think that was the extent that I went though.
The other half of me, though, was wearing it specifically because I would walk away and leave my wallet sitting on the counter of a store.
Yeah.
I'd, take my thing out, put my money out, whatever, and turn and walk away, and then the wallet would hit me in the leg, and I'd be like, oh.
I think it was half the the look,
Yeah.
and then the other half was just
Utility.
just keeping it on me.
Yeah.
Mine started when I was in London, and literally I felt like every time I would like my hand would go behind me, I would feel like hands trying to reach, like on the subway, especially the underground there. If you're in a crowded thing, there's pickpockets everywhere in London. You'd be walking through Piccadilly Circus, and they're everywhere. And I spent 3 weeks in London. Probably a half dozen times I felt like somebody was trying to take a wallet out of my back pocket. And I had a chain one that I wore for that reason, for look. And when I got home, I pulled it out of storage and started wearing it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally because I felt like I was going to get pickpocketed, in like upper class Chesapeake, Virginia, where there's so many
I like that
criminals.
you went to visit Dickens era London. It's just
Piccadilly, right in the tube.
I just picture all these little, kids like trying to pay. Please, sir, may I have your wallet?
You know what I learned real quick? You know what I learned real quick about London is there is no public drinking laws at all.
Oh no,
And-
you'd be as hammered as you
Oh
want.
God, tall boys everywhere. We flew in one night and we were literally had just gotten on the subway riding the train into town. And like the first stop after the airport, these 3 drunk chicks get on. And the thing starts going. They all had open Heinekens with them. The thing starts going. They pour all their Heinekens all over my bags. And I'm 17, man. I'm like, what the fuck? And then everybody said, are you here on holiday? I'm
always
here on
threw me off.
it's vacation.
You're like, it's
holiday.
not a
No,
holiday. Today.
No, we just had July 4th a couple weeks ago. I'm just here on vacation. I looked like such an American for that trip, dude.
Dude, it's every time I've ever been to Vegas.
Oh, yeah?
It's just people dropping beer on me at every turn.
Yeah. Anyway.
Go Knights.
What do we got going on, guys? What's going on this week? We got one local game this week. We're playing Kelowna.
Yep.
Ogopogo.
Ogopogo.
May the Ogopogo be with you.
Kelowna Ogopogos.
How's Detroit's coming up? Raz will be playing in his 4th game? He's
I
played 3
believe
already,
so.
right? And he's got a
Yeah.
point.
Yep.
You know who else for Detroit that's been really impressed me is Cholowski.
Yes,
Cholowski.
dude.
He's got a couple points. I think he's got
He
a
had
goal
in his first game. I think he's got 2 goals now.
You might be right.
Yeah.
There's some hope from the boys.
When are they playing next?
I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, I
the
think
Flyers play Ottawa tonight.
Yeah. Red Wings and Maple Leafs.
Vegas. Who's Vegas got up next?
Vegas has Washington today.
Ooh, rematch.
Yeah.
And then
That's why I'm sporting the jersey right now.
and then the Flyers and the Knights play again on this Saturday in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So that'll
yeah,
wrap up
'cause
that season series really quick.
Knights go to Pittsburgh on Thursday, and then there's no games on Friday.
Ooh, how about the Penguins and Matt Murray?
He's out with a concussion, yeah.
and They're not doing so hot.
There are.
I don't wish concussions on anybody, but I like that the Penguins aren't doing well.
He's had, what I hear, 3 or 4, and the guy's only 24 years old.
That's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good.
No.
Because like
That'll
that
turn you
shit
into-
does not. That shit does not get better.
James Van Riemsdyk, 5 to 6 weeks out with a lower body injury for the Flyers. Joe Thornton has been placed on injury reserve because he got an infection in his surgically repaired knee. A lot of injuries early on this year. A lot of injuries.
Yeah, it's scary because it's not just like your average Joe. It's a lot of the big name guys.
Like Joe?
Well, yeah.
No, I know.
I missed that. Yeah,
No. I know what you mean. I know exactly what
Yeah.
you mean. You're right. It has like the whole JVR thing with Van Riemsdyk the other day. Like somebody was just like, Oh, yeah, and by the way, JVR's out 5 to 6 weeks. Moving on.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, whoa, back up? Huh?
Wait.
Come again for Big Fudge?
Yeah. So, hey. Allegedly. Allegedly.
That was a good one.
Where did that come from?
How I Met Your Mother.
I love you.
We are going to be wrapping up our... Well, let me say thank you to all the people that participated in our little online contest. We actually had a few more than I figured because nobody really follows us. But
Did somebody win it yet?
We will, by the time this posts, the winner will be announced. I'm actually going to be choosing. They have until 5 o'clock today, 5 o'clock our time today to get in there. I saw that one of your boys, both of you guys had people that called you guys out. So
yeah, like they're like, I'm going to kick your ass. And I'm like,
he's
probably.
part of the family here. So
like, I think Nate was like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass out. And I'm like, you probably will. I don't
He's
fucking
like, you're like,
yet.
I don't even have it yet. So yeah, probably.
I don't even have it.
But so yeah, we'll be doing that. Our printer got backed up, so the shirt should be in my hand here, like in the next couple of days.
Allegedly.
Kelly Buckburger. His dad's name's Kelly Buckburger. Your printer's name's Kelly Buckburger. Oh, man. No, so that's coming. Those shirts are coming. Doing the website revamp. It's going to be cool. What else? What do you guys got going on? What's happening with you, Kyle?
Jeez.
Hausenstein.
I'm still kind of like looking around to find my first NHL game of the season. I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm looking at Vegas, but they were in the Stanley Cup final last year, so those tickets aren't cheap anymore.
No.
But I still want to try to make my way down to Vegas for a game. I'll probably go to one in Vancouver. Other than that, though, like there hasn't been a whole lot.
We didn't talk NHL to Seattle. How the fuck did we get through an hour?
I don't. I actually kind of was chomping at the bit about that too.
Well,
fucking A.
That sports complex looks fly as shit.
Yeah, and that's been the biggest news this week.
3 sheets of ice.
Yeah, 3 sheets of ice
huge.
up in the Northgate area of Seattle. Now, that's not set in stone yet. That's where they want to do it. But holy fuck. I just found out, and I didn't realize this, but inside Seattle city limits, there are no sheets of ice.
Yeah.
All the ones that exist up there are on the the suburbs and all that
time.
stuff. It is about time.
I've been re-enamored with all the design possibilities for jerseys and following a bunch of different guys. Yeah,
Guy named Sparky on there's done a shit ton of them.
The one, I think he's the one that did the one that I really like, and it goes against kind of what you were thinking. I think it was for the Steelheads or perhaps the Sockeye, but it was a tribal looking fish in the form of an S, and it looks clean, man, on a brown jersey.
So
I like it a lot.
Is it like a kind of Mystery Alaska kind of feel, or
Yeah.
What's his name?
If it's him, if you go into Twitter, it's just Sparky.
Hang on, I'll bring it up.
So the Sin Bin, Seattle, and Seattle Times both ran fan voting, and the 2 winners from each one were the Sockeyes and the Steelheads.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everybody likes that fish theme, man.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it. We had this.
I'm
Corey
okay
and I
with
had this
Steelheads.
conversation.
I'm okay with
last week.
Steelheads. Sockeyes, kind of.
No, somebody will make it cool though. They will.
Yeah. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all.
I'm with you. I'd rather see Steelhead. But either way, and we talked about last week with the Pike Street Market, fish market there will have to be involved. No matter what.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
I was listening to last week's for a bit, and you guys were talking about Pike Place Market, and I was like, yeah, I could see a lot of like, I don't know. Seattle's always been really unique with their sports teams. Like the Mariners haven't made the playoffs in 17 years, but that city still loves that team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what the situation was with the basketball fans back when the Sonics were still around towards the end of their like existence. But I mean, you see it now. Like you see, like the team like really, really misses it, or the city really misses it, and like,
well, from what I heard, they felt like they were raped and stolen from.
When
the team left. So
yeah, like there's a lot that could be said about like how passionate Seattle is about their sports teams.
Yeah,
and I think an NHL team will absolutely thrive really well there.
Oh yeah,
and the city is just going to eat it up, and they're gonna make it their own thing. And the Pike Place Market is definitely going to be it. Ooh, that is nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't that look clean?
Yeah.
It took me a minute to find it, but that's the one I was talking about.
Spark, yeah, that guy.
And
He's doing some really good work. Somebody did bring up a good point. No matter, and I agree with this. No matter what they go with for the name, they should possibly have a shoulder patch of the old S with
Yeah.
Seattle in it,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
pay homage to
Or-
that.
or
And I
some kind-
love that
yeah.
idea.
Or some kind of like influence of it, Like I see a lot of the designs that are coming out have a lot of those same color themes or the same jersey styles.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
like
like that a lot.
I like the idea of incorporating the bluish tealish color,
Yeah,
but with
sure.
something that's not
Well, I saw
the traditional blue and neon green of Seattle.
I saw
Right.
somebody do
Right.
the they redid the Metropolitans logo, but instead of red and green, it was like the green and blue,
Yeah, I
like,
saw
typical
that. Yep.
Seattle colors,
Yeah.
and it looked really good. They did a really good job on it.
The one I liked for the Metropolitans that I saw was another one that I believe his full handle is Sparky Chubarky.
Yeah, yeah.
But his Metro's logo was a golden M,
Okay.
and the middle point where the M comes down like this had the top of the Space Needle in it,
Oh, okay.
and it was clean.
Okay.
It was real clean looking.
I
But it was a green jersey with a gold logo,
okay.
which I liked as well.
Somebody brought up a good point. I forget who commented, but no matter like what the name comes up to be. Oh yeah. that's a
Oh
good
yeah. Oh, okay. I've seen his designs before too. I'm looking at his Twitter right now.
Yeah.
See,
And
I like the Trident.
do too.
the Kraken one,
Yeah.
I really love. I love that. And then the Metropolitans one he did, where it's the M and it's got the
The Space Needle.
Space Needle behind
Yeah.
it. That looks really cool. The
What's
seals-
funny is I totally thought my initial thing was I thought that everybody was going to back the Kraken name. I really did. I was
Yeah.
hoping for the Sasquatch, but that's just
Yeah.
me personally.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, like if any of these designs are chosen, I will proudly rock that.
Absolutely.
They all look dope.
He's done a really good job with a lot of these.
I've
Yeah.
said that the last few weeks is like no matter what they choose, I'll back it no matter
Yep.
what. As
Yep.
soon as the merchandise is out there, I'm buying some. Somebody brought up a
But-
good point. I back this completely, and this should be the game that we all try to go to every year. They're talking about possibly doing an annual Metropolitans versus Vancouver Millionaires,
Oh, that'd be dope.
where Vancouver comes to town and they all wear the throwback uniforms, kind of like what the Maple Leafs did with the Pats last year,
Yeah.
the Toronto Pats.
Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Throw everybody in old Metropolitans gear, Vancouver all in old Millionaires gear, and have that going on. Can you imagine how much money they would make in auctioning those game worn jerseys?
Oh
off?
my God, dude! Yes.
Yeah.
And do it like don't do the Adidas style. Do like old school sweater style.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I will say though, Adidas has been crushing it with these jerseys.
Oh, they absolutely they have.
My goodness,
Absolutely.
the jerseys look. I mean, I'm wearing one right now, and
Yeah.
it's this is one of the nicest jerseys I own. Not just
Yep.
because it's like a Knights thing, but like I really like just how it's made. The shoulders, I don't know what it is about the shoulders, but I really like this design right here, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like
So that in cut, the way
Yeah.
the
Oh,
way the
yeah.
sleeve meets up is so much more functional than the
Mm-hmm.
traditional way of just the T jersey.
the jerseys.
I was not a Reebok fan.
No.
When I loved CCM. Now I loved when CCM was doing jerseys back in the day, like
Yeah.
90s. But when Reebok came in, I didn't buy a jersey during the Reebok era.
I have a lot of the Reebok ones, but
I'm with you though. Adidas tears it up.
Yeah, Adidas is crushing it with these
Yeah.
things. Like,
Yep.
oh, speaking of the third jerseys,
And Adidas, we are
Which one are we
open to
talking
so
sponsorship.
any of them,
Yeah.
any of the third jerseys. Anaheim wore theirs against Detroit the other night.
I love it.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. Like,
I love the old Mighty Ducks jerseys,
oh
man.
man,
They're great.
And then I can't remember who their goalie was that night, but he had the old Mighty Duck style helmet.
yeah, it wasn't
Oh,
Miller. It was the other guy. I forget who.
I think Miller had a really good one too, but I haven't seen it. But
Have you seen Pittsburgh's third?
yes,
Now they have yellow helmets. You and your mustard yellow fetish.
no. but I will say, I really like the jersey.
Yeah, the
I
jersey's
think it
the
looks
jersey's clean. It's slick.
Yeah.
I don't like the yellow helmets.
I have to say the only jersey I don't like as far as the third jerseys go this year is Winnipeg.
What are they doing?
It's just like a light blue with just Jets in cursive.
Did you see how much crap Carolina's getting for bringing the Hartford Whalers jersey back as their
Why
third
are they
jersey?
getting crap for that?
Because the Hartford people aren't too happy that the
Maybe
their
they
team is
should
in Carolina now.
Maybe they should have kept their fucking team.
I'm with
Maybe
you.
they should have attended some games.
So-
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm
like,
with you. But so many people like, oh, I see how it is. You take our team and then you wear our jersey to, flaunt it in our face. It's like, well, no, you lost your team because
Yeah.
like you said, you didn't pay ticket prices to come to games.
Yeah.
Which fans, if you're not going to the games and you're not buying tickets, your team is not going to stay. Just so you
Hint,
know.
Nudge, nudge.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Tri-City folk.
We're whalers on the moon.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Let's end this on that note.
I would love to see the Whalers jerseys back in action. Really,
Dude, I'm kind of down with the Phoenix one.
Oh, I do too. Oh, I love it.
Which one are they going back
to?
to?
The old.
With the coyote on it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they wore that the other night too.
Yep.
And it was slick.
Oh, yeah. Reminds me
Yeah.
of like JR era when he was
Yeah.
I really like. I almost prefer the Carolina black jersey.
Oh, I love their black jersey. Oh, and we didn't talk about that either. Their new celebration.
Yeah.
You're the one that
okay.
brought
Yeah.
that up.
So their captain, Justin Williams.
Justin Williams.
Yeah. He decided to start a new tradition where at the end of every win at home, they line up on the blue line and they do a little wave and clap to the fans, and then they rush the boards and jump into the glass and
It almost
as a team. And
it's so cool.
it takes the Lambeau leap and turns it into a team thing.
yeah, I love it, and the fans love it. I think now before we started recording, I was talking about hockey in Europe, and honestly, I prefer games in Europe over games
For the
in
in-game
States.
experience and the fan
for the in-game
interaction,
experience. Like
yeah.
it's because first of all, like the fans are always on their feet, and well, not like all the fans, but like there's like always a section somewhere in each stadium that are just for like hardcore fans, and it's like standing room only. Like there's no seats.
It's awesome.
And they're constantly singing and waving banners and jumping and chanting, and it is nuts. And the energy in every European building I've been in is just blowing the roof off.
It's awesome.
Like, it is incredible. It's an incredible experience. Like, if you ever get the chance to go to a European game, like, absolutely do it.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to, like, Dusseldorf, Adler, Mannheim, Cologne, Frankfurt. I've been to a lot of Frankfurt games. That building is smaller than the Toyota Center.
Wow.
It's always packed. Always packed.
10 times louder, probably.
Oh my goodness! Like your ears are ringing by the time you leave. It's like you went to a concert.
That's awesome.
Like it is nuts. They put on a really good show, and the fans are really involved. And like going to like the Adler Mannheim game was insane because that building's huge. Their building's massive, and it was just packed. Like it was an exhibition game, and it was packed, and it was loud, and it was just nuts. So what I was watching this thing with Carolina and what they were doing, and it felt like a European game because the end of like every European game I've been to where the home team won, they've always done something kind of fun at the end, whether like they did like a little chant or got the crowd going on something, or like the goalie was like like slapshot style strip teasing on the ice, like. It's always really fun, and it gets the fans really, really involved. And I wish we saw more of that here. Like, I feel like it bothers me going to like an NHL game and it's just quiet during the game. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel the energy like I did
quiet
in
almost any game here.
like I don't
any
feel
level.
any of that energy.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not saying that like
Okay.
if you go to a game in Europe you have to be like loud and screaming the whole time, but like there's that group of fans that gets the building going. Like the fans are like self-sustaining almost.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's like, mascot's there, yeah, cool, but like the fans really make the experience.
Here's my quick theory. We'll wrap it up on this. I think that's because soccer is big in Europe.
Yep, absolutely.
And because soccer fans are the craziest fans on the face of the planet, and that energy, they take that with them
Carries over.
wherever they go.
Dude,
and in America, we don't like soccer, so that's why we have quiet crowds. So I blame you, soccer.
Well, as a soccer fan, as a Rose City Till I Die soccer fan, I am vehemently a Portland Timbers fan. I'm not a Sounders fan at all, which is funny to me. But, dude, that energy is glorious.
It's a soccer thing.
It's amazing, and I feel like it is something that we're missing.
So with Portland and Seattle having really big MLS teams and followings, maybe that loud craziness will transfer over to the new Seattle hockey team. So maybe
I would
Seattle,
love to see that.
Maybe Seattle will start the trend of that European style
Well, you know what?
fandom.
But what I'm seeing though, even
Yeah.
with Vegas has something going that no other team does. They do that daily march.
Yeah.
They have like drum line, and they've got like that one guy who's the unofficial mascot, kind of the knight. Like their crowd experience is also on another level.
Vegas caught lightning in a bottle because of the fact that they looked at it as entertainment first when building that team as far as the experience went. It was all the entertainment part of it. And then the cherry on top was the fact that they got a great team. So you had all these people coming because the entertainment was through the roof. Mm-hmm. And then you had a great hockey team, which everybody started to say, oh, wow. Well, okay. And they started to get into the game. So you drew them in with the entertainment, gave them a great product on the ice, and you've got flocks of fans now for Vegas. Yep. They caught lightning in a bottle last year.
Yep.
But you're right. That fan experience, that's why I keep saying I want to go down just for the fan experience.
So I'm hoping to go back to MLS. Mm-hmm. I'm really hoping that the Cascadia rivalry will start to surge.
Oh, it will.
The Vancouver Seattle, like just to start it, because there's a three-way run between Vancouver, Seattle, and Portland in the MLS, and they vie for the Cascadia Cup, and I would really like to see that transfer over.
I think it could. So
absolutely.
All right, guys, we talked a lot today. Anybody have any final words before we get out of here?
No, I think we're good.
You guys almost blew my Batman cover on the last episode.
Sorry. Damn it. Do I need to edit that part? I had to edit a lot the last time. Shit.
Why'd you have to edit so much last time?
Get us out of here, Corey.
On that note, thank you all for listening. This has been Cascadia Hockey, brought to you by Buried Puck Threads. For Aaron Piper, Kyle Houts, my name is Corey Gaston, and we are out of here.
Ferda.
Ferda.